Really sophisticated analytics to give a really simple picture of how a student's engaging in their course.
The dashboard's new. It's new to our university and it's new to the sector really. It's the first time I think that universities have had a system which draws together data from a range of sources and presents them really nicely for tutors and students to view.
Students benefit in many ways regardless of their backgrounds. Those students who come from first generation families to university sometimes struggle to engage with their tutors. And so what the system gives us is early warning of them struggling such that we can intervene. But even high performing students, sometimes we can see their engagement tailing off much earlier than we could previously, and so we can advise them on how they might best engage to get the very best degree that they can.
The student dashboard helps me gain the knowledge of how I'm doing on my course. In terms of how high my engagement level is, this isn't necessarily relative to how I'm going to do and what my outcome will be in terms of my grade, but it gives me an indication of how I'm doing so far and if there's anything else that I can do to improve it. So say going to the library more or using things that will benefit me for my degree. It is really intuitive to use. It's very straightforward. The graphs are really easy to interpret. They're clearly labelled and it enables me to kind of get a feel for how my engagement is going. And it also kind of, with the graphs, the way that they're done, it kind of induces a sense of competitiveness. You can't help it. You want to know how you're comparing to your fellow students and you want to know how you're doing and you want to know if you're a bit better.
When a student views the dashboard, same with tutors, we can see their attendance in terms of tutorials. We can view what they've been looking at in terms of our online VLE. So we can see the sort of content that they've been looking at, library loans. We can see their footprint in terms of which buildings they've been in and when they've been in. And that data comes together in sort of interesting metrics, which gives us an engagement rating. We thought really long and hard about data issues, in particular data protection issues, and we revisited our terms and conditions when students enrol, in terms of what they realise that they're giving in terms of access to data. And we take the kind of ethical considerations of data very seriously.
When you've got students who are slightly disengaged perhaps, or who are just under the threshold of being highly engaged, I think that's where it can really come into its element. Mainly because students can get a feel for how they're doing, so they can see that they're lowly engaged. They can then have a meeting with their tutor, which allows for a one-to-one situation where they can discuss methods of where they can improve. And I think although the student dashboard is quite online based and it is an IT thing, it is also very personal and it enables to develop those one-to-one conversations.
It's made a massive difference in terms of supporting students, in terms of the course team being able to communicate more effectively with each other. So prior to the dashboard we didn't know really, we didn't have a sense of how a student was doing. And now the dashboard, all the course team can see how the group is doing as a whole and how individual students are doing. It's a way to help us personalise the support that we give students in a way that we have been able to do before.
We had great data to start off with, and we also had very good tutor systems in place. However, we weren't connecting the two well enough, and so what the solution does is give us new insights out of the data that we've got, and it's allowing us to think of new ways to support our students so they can all be as successful as possible.
If I had my time over and I was looking at universities again, I think this type of tool would show how supportive a university is and what they're offering to their students. Because I think what NTU has is not only an open door policy, it also has its student dashboard, which is encouraging those one-to-one relationships and enabling people to get that sense that they have someone who is going to support them through their journey, and this university does care about their achievement.